Avengers, assemble. Welcome back to Sanders Presents. I'm Greg, and if you're enjoying the content we're producing here, then please consider following that link in the description below to become an Avenger today by joining our Patreon. We have two tiers available, a $3 tier and a $5 tier. At that $5 tier, you are an Avenger Premium member. You will become a founding Avenger, and your name will be added to our Avenger Memorial Hall of Fame and will be featured in the credits of every video. And I want to thank Fairy Cake Ed, One Shot, One Kill, Treasure Valentine, Fishy, and BKS Ford. Thank you all so much for your support and for making this content possible. So we're going to get right into it. We're looking at Marvel's Avengers today. And again, this is a discussion on quality of life improvements. But we're going to spotlight on one today, and that is join in progress. This, to me, is a big one. This is a big deal. So it doesn't matter what console you're on. I've played it on the PS4, played it on Xbox, I've played it on PC. Disconnecting is an issue. DCing, falling out. Most of the time, it seems to be completely accidental. Obviously, there are times you get in the game, you get in a chat with someone, and they don't have any patience for helping anybody new through or whatever, and they'll abandon the group, and that does happen. But a lot of times, genuinely, it seems to be like legitimate foundational issues, that continuous disconnecting issues that plague the game. That's one of the biggest things that hurt on Steam. Playing the game on Steam, already you're dealing with a smaller player base, and then so you have all that time waiting, right? And it can take, I had to take 40 minutes to find one game, okay? So 40 minutes as the baseline, right? And again, on Saturday or Sunday it could go faster, but sitting down to find a game casually, finding games casually and quickly during the week, it's very difficult. It's an ebb and a flow, really. And so I'm going to spotlight that just for the sake of this conversation. So you get into that match. It's taken forever. This might be the only match you get to play just because of the combination of the poor loading times, or the poor loading times and the combination of finding people quickly enough. This may be the only match you get to play quickly and efficiently, right? So you get in, you start to run it, you're halfway through, and people start dropping out. And everything's going well, because again, that's the scenario. Everything's going well, nobody's dying repeatedly, game's going along just fine, and then people just start dropping. This desperately needs to be improved. This is incredibly, incredibly important in terms of join in progress. You need to have there needs to be an option. There needs to be a way for players to jump in and join. It's that simple. It is that simple. I consider this something that would hugely improve the quality of life of this game across every console. Because if we're going through, all of your questions, all of your comments, all of your DMs, the general consensus lately, there's a lot of users like, I'm trying to play the raid, and somebody gets disconnected, it throws off the whole thing, it ruins it. That is something that obviously that can be annoying. And when it happens with regularity, it can expand that annoying. And what happens, of course, on average, because of social media, because of the internet, people will go online and they will share that the game's not working. Teammates keep dropping out. We can't play. We can't get anything running. That will spread faster. That kind of negativity will spread faster. The internet breeds that kind of conversation, and people are always hungry to tear something down. That's society in a nutshell. People enjoy tearing something down rather than helping to build it up. So the very simple way of fixing this is a join in progress. We need that feature. We desperately need that feature. Marvel's Avengers needs that feature. Obviously, we need to get the connection issues sorted out. Obviously the game, we want the game to run smoothly. We want the game to be optimized. We want all of that. But on the off chance, even sunny roads, everything's fine, grass is greener, and it still crashes, we want that join in progress if it's a DC. Or if it's deliberate, if someone is a jerk and just drops out because it's not the exact thing that they wanted or the exact kind of teammates that they wanted for whatever fantasy they have in their head, then yeah, join in progress works for that too. But right now, we desperately need that feature. And I know it varies experience to experience. Some people, maybe you'll never experience any kind of disconnect, and bravo, that's great. And if you yourself are never disconnected, that's fantastic. That's good for you. But maybe you've had a teammate, maybe you've heard a story, maybe you've had a friend say, "Man, I dropped out last night. I had one game to play, whatever." The fact of the matter is, it would alleviate that. It would help that, because then very quickly turn around and someone's in your game, you got a full party again. And you just continue right on your way through the raid, through any other future in-game examples like that. It's important to have join in progress. And in my opinion, in an online multiplayer game, join in progress is an absolute necessity. It is an absolute necessity. It is a feature that needs to be there day one. It's something that in hindsight always needs to be reflected upon. You need to be able to look at this and go, okay, we see where we went wrong. We need to, we got to course correct. We got to course correct. Join in progress is one of those things. Join in progress, I think, might be one of the biggest ones. Now, there's a lot to get into in terms of, various topics I want to shine a light on and get feedback on and spread and get the conversation rolling. But right now, and I think a lot of it's because of the raid being so new and people experiencing it, I guess with more regularity than they thought they would in terms of disconnecting. But that seems to be like the big finger on the pulse topic is everyone wants join in progress. One, I think that's great. I think that's great that the community can get behind something, because that's what we need. You got to unify behind something. It's just like what happened with the marketplace and the XP boosters. You unify behind something, you shine a spotlight on it, you have enough people unified behind it, you do it respectfully, you critique it respectfully, you don't threaten people's lives, and you can get stuff done. I know it's shocking, but you can actually get stuff done being reasonable versus what the internet considers, oh, hey, no, this is how you have to act all the time. You have to be in extremes all the time. That doesn't solve anything, Mac. You're not going to get anything done. So that's the big shining light on moment. You get what I'm saying? That's join in progress. And I guess to add to the conversation, because I want to get an idea, and I can't, we can't get an idea. We can't get a very clear, transparent idea if you don't share your stories in the comments below. But, disconnecting. Hopefully it's always accidental, but what were the experiences? What were you running when it disconnected? What were you running? What were you doing? What was happening on the disconnecting? Does it happen to you more in Avengers than it does to other games? Are you yourself disconnecting? Is it someone else? Is it random players? What's the story? What's the variable? What can we get to the bottom of, in terms of sharing our stories and sharing our experiences on organizing and straightening out and getting a community discussion around this. And hopefully collect it, organize it, have a follow-up discussion on it, because this is a topic that clearly matters. Just based on the general response, it clearly matters. And it's like I always say, what you respond with, in terms of your questions, in terms of your comments, that drives topics that we shine a light on. It's not my goal to shine a light on random things that players aren't experiencing. You know what I mean? You're the actual player base. This isn't game journalism. This is a group of people who play a game and who actually are playing it. So we kind of follow that pulse at Sanders Presents. So the topics that I see you talking to me about, the topics that I see you shining a light on, that's going to drive us forward. That's going to be other topics. And I've been making notes. I've seen the things. I know what people are talking about. And we're going to cover those topics as quickly as possible to really shine a light on it. We know that Crystal Dynamics is on holiday break. We get all of that. So, let's start looking at it during this break period. Let's really narrow it down. Let's look at it, and hopefully we can come back around and see all of these things implemented, corrected, what have you. But this is the first one. This is the first one that we're going to shine that light on. To my Avengers, as I said at the top of the video, thank you so much for your support and for making this content possible. And again, if you are able, please consider following that link in the description below to become an Avenger today by joining our Patreon. Sanders Presents is also the proud to present that we have our debut novel. A link is in the description below to order our book. It is 89 Instrument of Destruction, a thrilling new science fiction book. So thank you for checking that out. And again, thank you for being a part of the conversation and adding to it. I really do appreciate it. Please like this video, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and consider sharing this on social media. It helps immensely with YouTube's analytics and algorithms. It basically lets YouTube know, hey, the people already watching this like it, so let's recommend it ourselves, so to speak. Above all else, and most importantly, stay safe, take care of others, and have an absolutely marvelous day. Bye, everyone.